Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am here with Sean Miller from High Moon Studios, who has brought by Transformers Dark of the Moon, which is kind of a companion to the film, but it's actually a prologue. So Sean, do you want to tell us how it all plays together?
Yeah, we've set our game in basically the months and weeks right before the film starts. It gives a chance to set up the characters and some of the events you're going to see play out in the movie. So at the start of our game, the Decepticons have disappeared since the end of the last film. The Autobots have been searching for them, but haven't been able to find them. They catch a break, and they send Bumblebee in to look into a rogue signal that they've gotten, which of course is coming from a satellite. You may remember that satellite was Soundwave in the last film. He's hacked into one of the satellites. So our mission in the game starts with Bumblebee not as the Guardian that you saw in the last film, but more as the warrior scout that fans of the Transformers series might remember. The mission's crafted around the things that make him special and unique, so you get to see that sort of scout warrior. But you can't do a Transformers game centered around just one character. It's a team-based franchise, and you have to be connected. So in this mission, as well as all of the missions, you're going to encounter other characters that are going to be some of your other favorites from the film. So we're going to show you a segment here where Optimus Prime and Sideswipe have come in to help out.
All right, well, let's dive right in. So this is intro cinema, right? Setting up the level.
Mm-hmm. This is the beginning of the level. Optimus and Sideswipe coming in, gunning, and fighting off these Decepticons that have overrun this village down in South America.
But this is a single-player game.
Yeah, the game is. We crafted each of the missions around a single robot. And we picked from what are the famous characters from the movie. We tried to pick characters that we know the fans are going to want to play as, and also some of the new Transformers that you're going to see in the movie. We get to set that up and give you some play time as those characters.
Oh man, you don't have the little obnoxious ones from the last movie, do you?
We're not. I don't want to give away all the characters that we have. The focus really is on a lot of some of the more famous robots from the series.
Okay, good. I'll take that as a positive sign. Now, this is a little bit different from the driving mode that we know. You want to talk to us about this? This isn't quite car mode, this isn't quite robot mode, it's something in between.
Yeah, there's a new type of vehicle combat to the film experience. There's a toy line that Hasbro has, it's called Stealth Force. That's a little misleading because Stealth Force doesn't look very stealthy, but the idea is that they can, as a Transformer, they're a robot and a vehicle all in one. They're not one thing or the other. And so when they're in combat, they want to have access to their weapons. So in car mode, you may have seen it in the last trailer that came out for the NASCAR event, where Bumblebee is driving down the road and then pops open all these panels and weapons out of every area. Well, that allows us to open up this whole area of combat so that we can make you just as dangerous in vehicle form as you are in robot form. Each of the vehicles has their own set of weapons that they get, and those weapons are just as devastating as the ones you get as a robot.
And just to be clear here, aside from the obvious weapons play, Bumblebee's kind of a badass. Seems to be somewhat ninja-like with the hopping and jumping and whatnot. So what's the melee system like in the game?
The melee system is a button click. It's right stick down will do your melee attacks. But each character has special abilities, and we've crafted them around the unique personalities of each of the characters. So for Bumblebee, one of his special abilities is actually this spin kick that he does. In the movies, he's always really agile in his combat. I mean, he really is a very agile warrior. So we wanted to make sure that when you're playing through that, you got that part of the experience.
Now, unlike your last Transformers game, which was War for Cybertron, these are definitely levels focused for a specific character. So it's not like once you go through this level, you'll be able to replay it as one of the other robots.
No, we wanted to make sure that each level was crafted around the things that were unique about a particular character. And to do that, we wanted to be able to capture the personality and give you objectives, things that you have to do that you can only do because you're that character. And that's one of the cool things I think about the Transformers in general. The thing that you have is you have these characters that are all different characters, different vehicles, and different personalities. So we wanted to make sure that you got time to spend playing as those characters. And create the most authentic experience for each one of those characters as possible. So, for instance, in this next section, we're going to show you some Ironhide. Okay, still a ground-based vehicle, but instead of being a muscle car, you're this truck, and of course Ironhide is the weapons expert. All of his abilities are based around his ability to damage. I mean, he's got lots of heavy weapons. His Stealth Force mode is actually more tank-like than Bumblebee, so it's heavier. It plays very different. Controls stay the same though. It's really important that while we're introducing new abilities for each character, the control scheme is consistent throughout each. So here you see Ironhide.
No longer in South America, it looks like.
No, in Ironhide's level, we're in Detroit. Something that's really important in I think the movie experience, you're in both familiar locations as well as exotic, and we want to be able to give you a taste of those kinds of experiences. And what more fun could there be than rampaging through a city as a giant robot?
That is one of the highlights in life as a general rule.
You'll see, some of the things that we're going to be able to do in here. He has not only these heavy weapons that you've seen in the previous film. You see the giant weapon that's on his back. I mean, that weapon's probably as big as a large motorcycle. And does damage accordingly. So that's one of his special abilities. He gets access to more weapons than the typical Transformer.
All right, cool. Well, last question. When's it coming out? What platforms? Because we checked out the Xbox 360 version. First time ever, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Our studio has built the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 version. That'll be on shelves June 14th, right before the movie comes out. So you'll be able to play through the game, get things set up before you go see the movie. There are Wii, NDS, and 3DS versions that are being developed by another studio.
Well, thank you, sir. Well, there you go. That is your first look at Transformers Dark of the Moon. It's going to be coming out in the next couple weeks. Be sure and check back on the site. We're going to have a lot more. And now let's get back to the show.